Today we have on with us a special guest, a very special guest, a woman, a strong woman, a knowledgeable woman who's making impact in her state. She is from Tennessee. Her name is Charlotte Bergmann. She's running for Tennessee District 9. Thank you for coming on the Erin Cruz show today. We're so excited to hear about your race.
Thank you for inviting me to join you and to be able to talk about my race. Thank you for mentioning Tennessee, but I really want to specifically say that I live in Memphis, Tennessee, which is well known for Elvis Presley, as well as the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. How's that for two different polar opposite reasons for existing?
Well, but it says a lot about what we are and who we are as a country. I mean, there's so much to us historically, and also for the future. I mean, look what Elvis did for rock and roll. Look what, some of these other individuals did in their own area of expertise. It's phenomenal. And look what you're doing there. I mean,
I'm excited. This is a calling, and this is something I do not take lightly. And this is something that I am tenacious about, because when I look around at my community, a community that I love, and we have a diverse group of people. We have some people who are very rich, some people who are very poor. We have veterans, of course. We have people pretty similar to what other cities have, but these are my people, and I love them, and I want to be their voice for them in Washington, D.C. It's a great place to live, and we've got some great people here, and for that, I want to fight for it.
Right. Now, in your district, Tennessee 9, do you feel or do you see, I don't like to even talk about feelings because really the reality, that's what we want to get down to. Do you see that the people are being represented currently in Congress?
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, we are being looked at as a laughingstock as a result of this congressman who is currently representing us. For one thing, when a member goes to Washington, D.C., they need to be able to interact with other legislators and involve themselves in various committees in order to get things done for the people in their community. Right. This congressman looks for every camera that he can find in order to make derogatory remarks and threats against our president, whom I love very much, as well as recently he suggested that the young woman, Marsha Blackburn, who is a representative now, House representative, he suggested that she jump off of a bridge in a river. He wished that she would do that. But that's the type of representation that we have. He is instrumental in encouraging Antifa and various other organizations to get them aroused so that they can get people emotionally upset, and that will encourage them to come out against Republicans.
So he's a divider.
He is definitely a divider.
We need unity. We need unity right now in America and in Tennessee. I'm in California, and there's a lot of division in politics. It's not about the people anymore. We need to get back to the people.
Oh, gosh, Erin. I mean, in December, the tax reform bill and the jobs bill was passed. My son called me and he said, Mom, I've got an additional $12,000 in my 401k. He said, where did that come from? I said, it came from your president, son. And prior to that, he was not a strong supporter of the president. Well, since then, we were talking over the phone, and he said, I need to let you go, Mom. I've got to get back so that I can listen to Tucker Carlson because I really want to what he has to say. He's moving over to the conservative arena.
So he's a walkaway movement. I mean, personified.
Just as his mom is. He's not as much of a walkaway yet as I would like for him to be, but he's heading in that direction. And as long as he's taking care of my grandchildren, I'm happy.
Right. But I think part of it is that, again, there's the division, Republican, Democrat. Really needs to get back down to the American people. serving your constituents. So back to the people of Tennessee District 9, they're not being represented by the current incumbent. What do you want to do different? How can you do the job better?
Well, I have a lot of things going for me. I have for years been going to Washington, D.C. to establish those relationships such that when I go to Washington, D.C., I know who is working on various committees. I know what committee I want to work on. I'm talking to the people into my community to find out what their needs are, and I will be able to be their voice in Washington, D.C., unlike what is happening now. I'm a realistic person.
Right.
I am a degreed person in business. I have a small business. I understand that in order to be free and in order to be independent, entrepreneurship, the free market is something that needs to be promoted, encouraged, and this is what people in my community need to hear. This congressman wants to promote welfare, SNAP, and various programs like that. And what that does, it keeps people in bondage.
Right. So he's promoting dependency on government. People don't understand that's slavery. I mean, essentially slavery of the mind and generational slavery, if you will, because it's a lifestyle. And you lose power of yourself. I really wish there would be real education on empowerment, because people who can get educated, they can get employed, and then create a future for themselves, have a different viewpoint of the world than those people dependent on government. And it's almost like they want people to stay in this dependent state on government, of government. Now, why don't people hold them accountable? Is it because then they know they'll have a guaranteed check? I mean, is that how bad it is?
Well, I would just say this gentleman, this congressman, is a very vindictive person. And people who have come out to support me in the past, he has actually gone to approach them and verbally issue some type of veiled threat. But
Oh, no.
you mentioned something about slavery. I would just like to say this. You have a point. There are 66.15% of people in this community who are minority. We have a majority minority district. He is, I call him, and many people call him, an overseer, because he's encouraging dependency. And because he says, now get this, a Jewish white man saying that he votes like blacks and he has the best interest of blacks in mind. What his idea is, I'll give you a little bit of collard greens and neck bones, and you be content. Now, little person, and don't you dare go and vote for me. I mean, against me. Yes, this is the type of representation that he provides. But what happens is we have a media who covers up the things that he does. They do not mention any of the negative things that he does, and a number of the people just don't challenge what he has done or even are aware that he acts as though he has dementia. He has attacked Star Parker and called her ignorant. He has told Peter Strzok that he should receive the Purple Heart because, Congress was interviewing him and questioning him. This is the mindset of someone that has dementia, but we have very rich people in this community who gives him money, and as a result, he wins.
Right. Money and power.
It's the mother's milk of politics, exactly.
Right. Now, I look at it this way, because I loathe identity politics, because really we're citizens. We love this country, and we want good things for our family and for future generations. It doesn't matter, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, male, female, what have you. But this is a way to divide, and it hurts us. It hurts us as communities, hurts us as people, there's nothing that good that comes out of this. And on a bigger level than your constituency or potential constituency in Tennessee 9, we have what I look at as the mother of slavery. It was over $20 trillion in debt as a country. And that's basically putting us at a disadvantage. We're in debt. We owe a lot of money to a lot of things. But the idea of government is this: it's always going to pat itself, it's always going to feed itself, and it's always going to protect its better interest. And what I have to say to the people of Tennessee District 9, and also the people of the United States of America, because not just the people in Tennessee can contribute to your campaign or get involved or volunteer over the phone or this or that. People all across the country. When Charlotte Bergmann goes and works in D.C., her decisions are going to impact you. Her decisions, your decisions, Charlotte, impact me. Even though I'm in California, I want to get involved. I want to invest in you because you see the vision for the future of our country. This incumbent isn't going to serve the people. Certainly doesn't sound like he's going to serve me and my interests.
And President Trump needs reinforcement.
Mm-hmm.
He has great ideals. He's a businessman just like I am. He has hired people and fired people, but he judges people on their merit, on their ability to make a contribution. And I think that is extremely important. He has great plans to make this country great again. The only problem is we have congressmen who are either retiring or who are who do not see the vision that the president has.
Right.
And that's what I want to do. I want to work with the president because I see that getting us out of debt is one of the most important things because it makes us vulnerable, and other countries can actually deal with us adversely if we can't get out of debt. And more importantly, when you had John McCain who refused to vote against Obamacare, and that was millions of dollars trillions of dollars. I'm sorry. That
right.
We could have gotten off our plate at that time, which would have made the tax cut and the job bill a lot more effective. That is something that the president needs strong supporters to be able to come to Washington, D.C. and help him to remove those obstacles so that we can grow our nation and make us stronger.
Right, absolutely. And talking about growing our nation and making us stronger in the policies, I mean, we all know and we all can see, it doesn't matter on what side, and even if we're divided, we see there are problems. We just may view them differently, right? But we need solutions. We need strong solutions. So I'm going to ask you a little bit about 3 different areas, and I'd like to know what your solutions are. I mean, where do you stand on repealing and replacing Obamacare?
Oh my gosh, there are some exciting plans that are being developed right now. Health savings plans are programs that can be implemented to allow the doctor and the patient to have control over the care that they receive. I mean, currently with Obamacare, with the individual mandate being taken out of the heart of Obamacare, it isn't the dying, but then the premiums and what people have to pay in order to see a doctor, you just may as well say they only have a card. But I'm excited about the possibility of allowing people to be able to take advantage of competitive marketing, whereby they can purchase insurance across state lines,
yes.
And that would encourage lower costs in terms of insurance.
How about tort reform?
Oh, definitely tort reform. I mean, these doctors are afraid to make a decision and have to run so many tests prior to talking with the patient about what their illnesses are. Otherwise, they could end up being sued. And then there's an exciting thing about the cost of drugs are being reduced, which ultimately, in the long run, insurance will be more competitive. But I want to see the federal government get out of the insurance
Yes,
business and
absolutely.
return that to the patient and the doctor, and even at the state level when it comes to major medical expenses.
Right, right. So competition across state lines, free market approach, tort reform, those are all great things. And then obviously the medicine. Now, what about jobs? Regulations are vast, and there just seems like government wants more and more policy there. What is your plan to encourage competition and encourage the job market to continue to grow, as it has been under President Donald Trump?
It has been, and I'm very excited about that. And I think for every one or two regulations, they are reducing the number of regulations that are being imposed upon business owners. But I'm a small business owner myself, and we tried unsuccessfully to get around a regulation, the certification of needs, in order to provide care to our patients.
Mm.
We spent thousands of dollars to be able to meet their standards. We ended up going broke, and we've lost part of our business as a result of that. Government is not good to small businesses, and small businesses are the backbone of job growth and job opportunities.
And entrepreneurship, you talk about people who are dependent on the system, dependent on government, their ability to be able to start a company of their own, have a vision of their own, dreams of their own, create their own corporations, and live out, that American dream. Government needs to get out of the way.
Government definitely needs to get out of the way. Of what I'm excited about, when a freshman class of House members go to Washington, D.C., determined to help the president to reduce government impact on businesses and the restrictions. I'm excited about the explosion that could occur in our country in terms of the economic engine just roaring away.
Right, jobs. It's happening. It's happening across the country. And I'm glad to hear that you want less regulation, because that's really, regulations are a pre-tax, if you will. Cost people money before they even buy a product. So that's good news.
But you know what the president said, and I find it really true. Even though they passed the Tax Reform and Jobs Act, when he started cutting those regulations, businesses started prospering.
Right.
Prospering at that time. I started driving down the street, prior to the president taking over, I would see businesses and going out of business signs almost everywhere, or a business already having closed. You go to your favorite restaurant and it's not there any longer. You go into the grocery stores and the price of goods are expensive. I mean, coffee, like $8 for five gallons, I think it is.
Right.
But here's what is happening.
But the inflation is huge. It has been historically, and you're seeing that things are changing around.
Oh gosh, I see businesses, I see new development everywhere. It is so exciting.
Wonderful.
It is frustrating because new development means change, but it is exciting because new development means people are getting jobs.
Right.
And even our veterans can go back to work.
Right, absolutely. It means opportunities, more food on the table for everyday people. We've talked about jobs, we've talked about Obamacare. How about immigration? I don't know, if you're like we are here in California, but it seems like this is a common topic no matter what state you're from, no matter what region you're from. People are concerned about the problems not being solved. And where do you stand on immigration reform?
I say build that wall, build it high. I am very strongly in support of building the wall to cut down on the influx of additional drugs coming across our nation. But here's the thing. The president has negotiated a new treaty, so to speak. NAFTA is no more between Canada and Mexico. But what can happen with the wall, we can control the products that they send over to the United States, which could encourage more job growth and
Right.
businesses to build here in the United States and to create products and goods here in the United States to
Right.
encourage more job opportunities. I see when we have illegals, I don't have a problem with legal immigration.
Okay, let me have you repeat that because there was a little glitch in the audio. I want to make sure people are very clear about what you just say. You don't have a problem with legal immigration. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I think our country should encourage legal immigration because we have a number of jobs that we aren't able to fill right now. We have
Right.
a shortage of people. We have more jobs than people. But when you're talking about illegal immigration, you talk about crime coming over into the United States. You talk about
Crime.
more, all types of negative things that they're bringing that's not helping our growth and helping our people. I believe in America first.
Right.
And so in terms of immigration, become legal and join us. We welcome you.
Right.
You're
Right.
still legal, stay at home.
Yes, I agree with you there. I'm not going to disagree with you. And I thank you for sharing that position because, you know, people think it's a taboo conversation and that immigrants aren't welcome. And that's absolutely incorrect. I believe that most people view that immigrants are welcome, legal immigrants. And we're about process and rule of law, and that's important. And currently, you know, I know your incumbent is a hostile, if you will, towards President Donald Trump and the America First agenda. But where do your constituents or potential constituents stand on these issues? Are they do you believe, heavily supporting somebody that, one, isn't representing them and doesn't believe the same things they do? Do you think that they are adequately informed as to what the two candidates can offer them?
As I mentioned before, the local media prevents a lot of people from realizing who this man really is. But there are some people who are conscious of who he is. And many times when people hear my name, they say, okay, I'll vote for. But when they hear my name and they compare me to him, they say, oh, I'm really voting for her because
Right.
I really can't stand him. And they call him all types of colorful names because he's an embarrassment for our community, for our state.
It's sad. It's sad. That is sad. And, you know, I don't believe anybody wants that. You know, they don't want to say that they're embarrassed of their representation. And it would be good if your community had strong representation. I would like to urge people to get involved in Charlotte Bergmann's campaign. We always talk about on the show time, talent, treasure. You may not have a lot of treasure, but you might have time. Maybe you don't have as much time. Maybe you have a talent. I'm sure Charlotte would welcome people getting involved. Charlotte, can you go ahead and repeat for us your name, a little bit about your platform, and give people information on where they can connect with you about your campaign?
Yeah. My name is Charlotte Bergmann. If you think of my name, if you remember Ingrid Bergmann, my name is Bergmann, but it's spelled with two N's because it is the German derivative of Bergmann. But I love this community. I want to serve us in Washington, D.C., because in my community there is a strong need for our education system to be improved, for young people to get that education that is needed. Once they get that education and get a 21st century education, the chances of us inviting more businesses to the community increases exponentially. We got a workforce, we will get more businesses, and they can experience wealth, riches, and they don't have to worry about, living with $15 an hour. They can live and receive the max that their employers feel that they are worth, or even if they start their own business, sky's the limit. I'm excited. My website is electbergmann.com. electbergman.com, electbergman.com for 2 N.
Wonderful.
Thank you for talk with you, Erin.
Of course. And I'm going to go ahead and you guys can, anybody who's watching this video, see her website at the bottom of the screen. Make sure that you follow up with Charlotte. She's a dynamic woman who loves the country, she loves Tennessee, and she loves 9th District, and wants to do good things. And I'm sure that if you have questions about what Charlotte believes in, what's on her website, she would be glad to answer them. Right, Charlotte?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, send me an email at info@electbergman.com. Can I give my phone number?
If you'd like. I think that what's important, though, is that they know that they can get in contact with you, because so many people I've spoken to say that their current representation doesn't answer their questions. When they have a problem, their current representation isn't there, and I'm sure that that's the case. And I would like to encourage even walk-away people who are thinking that maybe this representation that's currently there won't represent them. Well, if you have questions for Charlotte, reach out. Ask her yourself. Get it straight from Charlotte.
I think it's great that people are walking away, but when I knock on doors, and I knock on doors often, the way people respond to me, more people have walked away than other people give them credit for. Just the problem is, Erin, they forget to go and vote. That's the biggest problem, getting people out to vote.
Yes, well, I think we need to give a ride to the ballot box day a thought.
I think we'll hold a picnic on election day.
Right, everybody go over, and then everybody go on a picnic. Absolutely, but we need to get out the vote. And again, if you're in Charlotte's district, or if you have family in her district, tell a friend and make sure that they vote. So God bless you. Thank you so much for being on the show, Charlotte.
Thank you for inviting me, and God bless you, and I love you for allowing me to speak to your audience and my friends.
Oh, absolutely. Take care.
Bye.
To hear more and to learn more on how you can make an impact or about the Erin Cruz Show, visit us online at erincruz.com. That's ERINCRUZ.com.